Alright, hey everybody, we are actually in the eye wall of a slightly stronger Ada. It is unbelievable whipping here.
This old job is always causing stress.
I'm touching the truck here perfectly.
All I ever do is work, I don't get no rest.
Man, I got some video footage.
Night is on the way.
Crazy. Let me see if I can get outside.
Down in trouble water.
You just wouldn't believe how much rock in the truck is. Oh shit!
Oh, man, drunk donkey IPA. Let that magic mango chase my blues away.
We're in the eye of Ada here in Key Largo.
Among my friends.
Tremendous
I
weather
swear the page goes live again.
coming in. Currently, I'm semi-protected here by my truck, so no worries. But semi-protected. I don't want to get the camera wet, but man, the trees beside me are completely sideways. I'm not sure what the gusts are, but definitely this is a tropical storm. I think we're seeing a little higher gusts. So I got the back turned right now and trying to keep the camera from getting wet. We're in Key Largo. We're in the eye of Ada.
All right, what's up, everybody? Good morning. We are live from Oldsmar, Florida. Happy Thursday. That's our little Thursday tune. You gotta love it, man. Thursday. So now we got a Thursday song. We got 5 songs from our man Andy Simmons. He's rumored to be making another one for the 2022 season. We have our own playlist of like 9 songs now. It's awesome. So yeah, what are we doing? We're going to talk weather. This is the Daily Brew. We talk about what's brewing in the tropics, what's brewing in the weather world, what's brewing in the world, what's brewing. Coffee's brewing. Beer be brewing at night, coffee be brewing in the daytime. And this is Little Hunter. Remember, dog a day. I think we did Louie yesterday. I'm going to have to make cliff notes so I'm fair with the puppies. So, hey, I see some highs. So we're going to say hi for a couple minutes, and we're going to talk weather. There's tropics have slowed down. Great news. There is an article I want to talk about that's being shared all over the internet. Clickbait. We're going to talk about dust. We're going to talk about tropical juice sliding up into Florida tomorrow. We got a little bit to talk about. And we'll talk about why the tropics kind of fizzled a little bit. And we'll talk about what's coming up tonight I want to share with my buddy Dennis. But let's say, hey, we got James, softball James. Travel ball starts back up this weekend, James. High school is over. What's up, Eric? Rays are finally hitting again. What's up, Chris Roth? I heard you might be coming on the cruise. The MWP cruise. Let's put that up while we say hi to everybody. I haven't really shared it. We got the link on the page now. But we do have our second annual Mike's Fair Page cruise coming up next March. We've already got 10 cabins booked. I can't believe it. It's going to be a ton of fun. What's up, John Ferguson from our buddy down there at Cayman Islands? What's up, Karen Smith? Karen, are you allowed to be mad, or do people make fun of you with your name, Karen? I'm wondering about that. And I never even saw the original Karen video. Like, how did that become a thing? What's up, Robert Peters? Yep, GFS lost a lot of respect. We'll make some snow. Chris, I know you went up chasing for snow. So what's up, DD Lee? How you doing? Richard Reamer, what's up there from Old Galley making some bacon? Maybe I'll go to Mama's later and get some bacon. Haven't had bacon in the morning. Tim Bolin, you almost got the same name, man, from Massachusetts. Had to Google how to spell that word. Loretta Reed, good morning. How you doing up north, Gary? Jill, yep, lightning on tonight. Yep, my daughter Emily was so bummed out. We went to our favorite little Oldsmar tap house last night and played trivia, and we lost like usual. We lose, and we thought the lightning were on. She was bummed out. They're on tonight. But yeah, Hunter. Hunter has changed a lot. Remember we were worried about Louis when he got chopped last year? Hunter now is more frisky. He plays with his toys more. He's like very violent. It's like he's mad now that he's lost his little you-know-whats. All right, let's talk weather. Weather. Hey, ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. Our Daily Brew brought to you by ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. 85 years serving Florida, just like I have been, minus a few decades. So anyway, the cruise is fun. There's a link on the page. Check it out. Tons of fun. You will not regret it. Really excited about it. You can read all about it. All right, so let's talk about the big buzz going on in the world right now. Bad news for the season. I'm getting a lot of people. I have people emailing me this. I have people sharing it. I have people panicking about it. So it is bad, but it's not guarantee anything. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that first. I got other things I want to talk about. Oh yeah, how'd you like that picture of my buddy Matt Devitt from Wink News? What does that look like to you? If you want to know, I posted something funny. All right, so let's talk about this loop current thingy. Do I have a page on that? Did I ever make a page? I don't know if I ever did or not. Maybe I did. Let me see. We're going to talk about dust. I don't know if I ever did one on loop eddies yet. I got a really cool presentation. I love my presentation. Nope. All right, so let me get back to Sal. I need to make one on loop currents. Loop currents. This is all my things. I just have a teaser. Okay. Anyway, all right, so let's go to the loop current. So what that article is saying is this. All right, real quick. We talk about this a lot. So let's look at a couple things. All right, so the article came out that says it's comparing it to 2005. I, in my opinion, think that's very not good. Because you don't know, every storm's different. But man, putting that fear in people with 2005 and Katrina, it kind of makes them feel like it's going to happen again. There's a bazillion things that go into making a major hurricane. Lots of things. There's dust, wind shear, high pressures, low pressures, overall, convective waves. You got the MJO. You got so many variables. Hot water is one of 10 things that makes a major hurricane. So. That's. But anyway, here's a couple things. All right, so we're going to talk about the water, and then I'll come back and say hey to everybody. What's up, Bill? James is losing interest. Hey, man, it's all right. We'll see you later, buddy. All right, so here's the loop current ocean heat content of the Gulf of Mexico. Obviously, things are warming up down the Caribbean. The article's basically saying things are warming up a little bit faster than normal, and it is. There's our loop current starting to show deep ocean heat currently right now. Anomaly Maps kind of showing you the same thing. We got all kinds of maps to look at. The Gulf is rising a little bit more than average. Here's your weekly water anomaly. Yes, the water is getting warmer. What you can see here, you really can't see. I don't have my pointer on this guy, but you can see that loop current's working its way north. Now, yes, that is a fuel of hot water. We talked a ton about this over the years. Harvey had a loop. Now, this is a loop current. A loop eddy is when they break off and they start spinning. Now, it was proven that Harvey had one, and our storm was able to sit over top of that. And what it basically is, as a hurricane moves slowly, it starts uprising cooler water from below the surface. The hotter that water goes below the surface, the more fuel that it can keep continually pull up, because a storm can only maintain that huge intensity so long before it starts to pull up cooler water and choke off the thunderstorms. So these loop eddies are continuous deeper levels of warm water that has been proving to help fuel these rapidly intensifying hurricanes over the years. So they look back at Harvey, they look back at Michael, they look back at Katrina, and there's all these signs that because of this warmer Gulf currents happening, it's helping rapid intensification. And that's kind of what the article's saying. What they're saying is this little guy, this is a live look here, this is on knowleschool.net. This is what we saw last year. Remember Ida last year? Now, Ida rode right up the gut here of the Gulf of Mexico, and it fed off of this loop current. And it's farther north these last couple years, making it a little bit more deeper impact into the Gulf of Mexico. Now, last year, we were watching this loop current, wondering if it was ever going to really break off, and it kind of did toward the end of the season. But what the article is basically saying is eventually this loop current's probably going to break off. They then become their own independent little guys, and they usually drift a little bit more to the north-northwest. So that's the basic gist of the article, is that this loop current probably will break off, end up somewhere in the Gulf, and spin around middle season, aiding fuel. If everything else is right, still have to have light wind shear, moist atmosphere. Humidity is a huge part of middle atmosphere with storms now. They're learning more and more about the relative humidity and the middle moisture levels. African dust can definitely choke off this, and lots of factors. So just this, bottom line, this does not guarantee anything. It's just going to help. If all the other variables line up, this is going to help. That's all. But the article makes it sound like it's almost a guarantee it's going to happen, and that's kind of rough. For sure. All right, so let's say hey to some more people. TBZ, what's up? Good morning. We got some new subscribers. We really appreciate that. We got 2 or 3 the last few days. That means a lot. We appreciate it. Ashley Nagel. Good morning, Ashley. Good morning, Yvonne, Graham, Amy. Cheers. Where else are we chiming in from? Bimini, where's that at? Is that Bahamas? Cool. Harold from Idaho, Brad from Baltimore. We play you all the Rays a lot. June, Thomas, I thought. All right, so let's talk about the tropics real quick. Then we'll talk about, I did share it, Katie Gregory. I did share it. People asked me to share it. I share everything. All right, let's talk about the tropics. All right, tropical activity. Now, we have this to start out. 5 days. Nothing brewing in the next 5 days. All right. So we were looking at the possibility here not too long ago that we're going to see something trying to brew off the coast of the Yucatan. And it would have been probably, we could have got a circle as early as today, Thursday, but we didn't get anything. What's happened? Well, first off, GFS failed. Simple fact. GFS has been one of the best performing models the last couple of years, and when the GFS was 7 days consistently, 30 runs showing a tropical storm hurricane, you have to take notice. You have to take notice. You don't take notice when they show one, they don't. They show one, they don't. No others show it. The GFS showed it 30 runs in a row, 7 days straight. You had to think there was some sort of something that was seeing. We knew there was a tropical wave. We knew there was hot water. We knew there was a MJO sliding over. So, hey, it made sense. I shared it. Heck yeah. I also said that it's the outlier. But it didn't work out. And that's a good thing. Nobody wanted a hurricane in the Gulf, especially in May. Didn't seem possible with the cooler waters and the higher shear and this dust rolling in tomorrow. So, anyway, that's got everybody scratching their heads. GFS first strike against the GFS this year. So what we do have is this. We have a tropical wave currently. This is kind of neat. We'll talk about this real quick. Here's our tropical wave. This little guy right here, it tracked all the way over from Africa. Can you believe it? Our first one of the season. There's another one out there right now. This little guy, I can't believe it. I didn't think it was going to make it all the way across. It did. Now it's getting ready to crash into Central America. And they have a Central American gyre with a lot of flooding concerns through Monday of next week. typical happens. Mudslides, flooding, big problems down there in Central America. This is all being fueled by this tropical wave that isn't likelihood it's going to develop. But what it does, we talked a lot about it, is sometimes they make their way into the Pacific, and sometimes they can kickstart the Pacific season. That's why the Pacific season technically starts 15 days before the Atlantic season, and usually it's energy in the Caribbean that slides over and ends up in the Pacific side. But, GFS was showing this, and a lot of it's almost did. It's not. But what it is doing, and this is kind of fascinating, we talked a lot about this yesterday, it is bringing tropical juice north. So our tropical wave, technically, still is going to give us tropical rains here in Florida. You can feel it outside. You can feel it. The rainy season is upon us. June 1st, typically right around June 1st is when it kicks in. And bam, rainy season is here. Good morning, Debbie. Thank you for the stars. Believe it or not, they add up. Dee Dee Lee says, her dog is barking at me. What's his name? I'll tell him to be quiet. Then we'll sing a little Dust in the Wind here in a little bit. For sure. GFS still hitting? Yep, Eric. I tell you, I'm just going to be a little more skeptical until we start seeing, too much. Tyson, it might rain tomorrow. Oh, Tyson, you need to pay attention about Lower Florida. Robert Jennings asks a good question. Do you think the Gulf will get more activity in the East Coast this year, Mike? Well, the pattern has been strong Atlantic high, which pushes storms a little bit more down into the Caribbean, thus the Gulf. Eric Burris over there, West News in Orlando, they have Florida Peninsula as the hot spot number 1 this season. Both sides of Florida. They also have the Carolinas as hot spot number 2. Good morning, Julia from East North Carolina. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate it. We got a good little thing. Our numbers are slowly getting back up now that we're in the tropical season. So now we're talking about this wave that never became anything. The wave's down there. There's a lot of tropical juice down there. We could take a look at weathernerds.org. I love doing that. Remember the top 2 sites that we promote, Tropical Tidbits number 1 and Weather Nerds. Wow, look at that. So Tropical Tidbits and Weather Nerds are our number 1 sites for sure. There's a big old blob. So we do have some storm threats today. Real quick, let me just show you that. That little blob's moving up. But we do have a pretty good hatched area tornado. Oh, actually, they took the hatched away. Oh, no. Oh, they did. Where'd it go? Huh, they reduced it. All right, it's just hail now. Big adjustment from this morning. Wow. So here's your storm threats today. Two different areas today. This is going to extend itself down into the Carolinas later with storms. So that's today. We talk less about this. Now the storms are all to the north. That's the sign that our rainy season is now here in the south. The fronts aren't really making their way down anymore, and everything's more contained to the north. All right, but anyway, we're going to take a look at this tropical wave, and then we're going to talk about what it's doing for our weather here coming up. So there's our wave down south. Let's take a look at that. ITCZ line is still south. That's our monsoon trough line. There's our current look at our tropical wave. Here you go. We'll put it in motion. And, tricked the models. Basically, this big old CAG setup is this big old gyre of tropical low. It takes a long time for anything to consolidate. But this is the Yucatan up here. This is, of course, where the GFS thought this was going to shoot up here and become something, which it didn't. But there's a look at it. This juice. So this juice, now watch this. We're going to go over here to the Euro. This is what's happening in Florida. If you wonder why the rain chances are up in Florida tomorrow, this tropical wave down here right now is going to be pulled up into Florida tomorrow. This red is moist air. I know y'all love the word moist. Rachel from Louise. Cajun. You got me at the word Cajun. I would love for some crawfish, and that's good. 'Tis the season, Cindy. How you doing, Miss Cindy Norman? All right, so red is the amount of moisture in the atmosphere, and this is what's going to affect our weather here in Florida. And then ultimately, it's actually going to make its way up to the Gulf Coast this weekend. So watch the red. This is kind of neat. This is our moisture being pulled up from our tropical wave. And look, all this juice tomorrow. So John Ferguson, you getting some. It's coming for you later today. Tropical rains incoming from the south. Typically the fronts come down, right? Now it's coming from the south. That's where you know the tropical season, right? Winter, the fronts are coming in from the north side. Tropical season, they're coming in from the backside. So you get it from both ends. Leave it at that. All right, so there's your Florida rains tomorrow. Tropical juice pulls up. This is Friday morning, and boom. So there you go. Got a lot of rain coming. We're gonna show you. I'll show you some Bahamas too tomorrow. So tropical juice. Ultimately, too, what really affected more than anything our tropical waves, the strong high pressure built in. The Euro predicted this better than the GFS. They call that a ridge of high pressure dome, but the Euro predicted this high pressure to be extra strong, and it pushed our wave into Central America, and that's basically what's happening. And there's a lot of land interaction. Mentioned that a ton. Land interaction and tropical development don't go together like oil and water. If you ever get water and oil, you're in trouble. So high pressure ruled. Now this high pressure is also blowing in tropical juice north, and that's what we got coming. So there you go. Tropical juice makes its way. Look at that juice flowing in. This is into Saturday. So there's your incoming juice Saturday for the upper Gulf from our tropical wave. So technically the tropical wave did affect the United States. It just wasn't a category 18 hurricane like some thought, especially the GFS. So there you go. That's what's bringing the rains. And we got a front coming down later part of the weekend. So it's going to get extra juicy up north in the upper Gulf. Hey, one thing before I forget, I wanted to talk about this. Dennis Phillips tonight. Here's my buddy Dennis. For some reason, people think we hate each other. So tonight, I'm going to be on his show live. I don't think I'm in person because I got to go to softball practice. So we're probably going to do a mobile. But we'll be chatting together tonight. I think it shows at 7 o'clock, DPL live, Dennis Phillips live. So really, I'll push it later tonight. But I'm super excited. We're good friends. We talk a lot. We chat a lot. We've met a lot. So anyway, that's tonight. So if you're around, it's around 7 o'clock tonight, I'll be on Dennis Phillips' show. I know a lot of y'all are from Tampa and love Dennis Phillips. I love him too. So that'll be tonight. We'll make sure we share that. So make sure you tune in to that tonight for sure. I do have an article here. Let me see if I can find it. You know, Dennis was one of the first ones that ever really solidified our site. I was 18. But I had another one. Let me go to YouTube. Let me see if I can do a simple YouTube real quick, and then we're going to talk about dust. YouTube, Mike's weather page, Dennis Phillips, because I think he talked about the page back in 2011, back when it was teeny weeny. Let's see if I can find it real quick. If not, I'll probably end up finding it and sharing it later. With everybody. I think it was 2011. I'm pretty sure it was 2011. I'll find it. He talked about our site back in 2011. Can you believe it? So he's been one of the first meteorologists that actually gave me any credibility, which meant a lot back in the day. Because, you get a big dog, a chief meteorologist in Tampa Bay that actually talks positive about what you're doing. He did. So I always appreciate that. All right, twice in one day, Ryan Anderson. Yeah, that's pretty bad. And then I'll be like a rerun. You get to see a rerun of me. Rachel, look at that. How about that? Cheers. DPL 7:30 p.m. 7:30 tonight. That's after Wheel of Fortune. What is my mom and dad going to do when Wheel of Fortune's done? I mean, sad we lost Alex Trebek. I grew up watching Bob Barker and Price is Right. Wheel of Fortune, I don't know what they give Pat Sajak and Vanna White. They look like they did 40 years ago. But how many years has Wheel of Fortune been on at 7 p.m.? That has been like the American tradition for the last 50 years, watching Wheel of Fortune at 7. So I'm pleased to announce that tonight we'll be online at 7:30 after Wheel of Fortune. No hot coffee today, Ray. We're still drinking hot coffee. Hot today, by the way. I shared that. Holy cow. Let's talk about the dust here in a second. But look at this heat coming. This is Florida. Let's not just talk about Florida all the time. We have record heat across the south, all the way up north. Let's take a look at the latest HRRRRR for the heat today. We got record heat index. Let's just do heat index. So that really makes it look like I'm hyping. So here's your heat index today. It's not so bad. It's not as high up as I thought it was. But here it is anyway. So here's our heat index for today. And there you go. So pretty much the whole state of Florida is going to feel like upper 90s. But what's tricky is look who's back in the mix. South Carolina, 100-degree heat indexes for almost the whole state of South Carolina. If you have not driven up Interstate 95, pulled off at, I think it's Hardeeville, one of them little towns, and felt the South Carolina heat is the most intense heat. I think it's because you have tropical moisture in the ground. It's coming up, high humidity. That South Carolina heat is back. So upper 100, upper close to 100, a lot of spots today. We hit 99 in Sebring, I think, yesterday, officially in Florida. Of course, we got 105, 4-degree heat indexes in Texas. So big heat spell. This is only going to add to the Gulf of Mexico water anomalies occurring. So the Gulf is warming up quite a bit. So the other big news, and then we'll look at radar for the weekend. So the other big news is this African dust. So let's share a few things about that. So there's the water anomaly map. Let me get rid of that. There's model maps, kind of big. Let's go to the dust map because we have dust rolling in all the way from the African coast. All right, so here's a current look. So the Saharan Desert, believe it or not, big winds kick in. You can see these winds too, which is great. These actually help get tropical development, believe it or not. So you get these strong winds here blowing off of Africa. Yeah, showing up too well right now. But anyway, there they are in a nutshell. So you get these strong winds blowing across the Atlantic here, right? These actually blow dust all the way. This is dust particles in the air. This is all the way. Now, the heavy stuff reaches later today for the islands, but watch what happens in the weekend. We get a big plume of dust here up into the Gulf of Mexico this weekend. And it might not look that much on this map, but it's still fascinating to see this big old line of dust coming in. So, we did expect tropical development maybe here. Definitely this would have hindered it some. No doubt about it. Sal, in a nutshell, I'll leave this graphic up. This is one of the bazillion graphics that I have, which I'm excited. My next convention little gimmick is going to be with Tammy Kent and her crew at OSR, One Source Restoration. I'm flying to Kansas City here in early June, and I'm doing a nice little presentation for them on hurricanes. I'm really excited about it. I love doing these things. I got so many cool graphics. I'm going to make a new graphic on loop eddies. Sherry says North Dakota's getting snow. You know, Denver's getting record snowfall today and tomorrow. They're getting over a foot of snow around Boulder. Crazy. Kim with the stars. Thank you, Kim. Appreciate that. Yeah, appreciate the stars. Hey, Cousin Jeannie. How's it going up there in Claremont? Her birthday party went really good. That's great. Tell Betty I said hello. Dad's doing pretty good. Dad's out in the yard yesterday. My dad's 85 out there working on his sprinklers, and we have heat indices of 99. I'm like, Dad, what are you doing? I don't even do that. Kenneth, thanks, buddy. So this is a cool little graphic I got. All right, so this is real satellite right here. This is real satellite imagery of what it looks like. This is unbelievable. This is dust. Oh gosh, I did that last time. Dust coming in off of Africa. Now, it's very normal early season to get these plumes of dust across Africa. Very normal. So it doesn't mean much right now. I have seen it over the years cool the Atlantic. You can see it right now. Here's your Atlantic Anomaly Map. Now, a couple years ago, we saw this area way below normal early season. And a lot of it, the theory was a lot of it was because these plumes of dust from Africa actually act as a blanket, like a heat shield, and actually reflect the sun back up. And acted almost like a little cooling blanket, allowing the Atlantic to stay cooler. Doesn't mean anything. The water turned on a dime and was hot in no time. So our season, this season is more August and September mainly, maybe October. So we got, June and July and first part of August is mainly homegrown, and October. So this really only matters peak season stuff. But that's when we get the bigger, badder hurricanes. So this one map that I have, let me go back to my page. I know you're probably bouncing back and forth. I have this map on the page. It's a great map. I have it somewhere. Here it is. Animated Sal Dust Map right here. This is what it looks like right now. We use this map a lot. This is a combination of dry air and dust. So it's a little confusing right now because it's showing dry air. But in the season, it's really good because it shows you the dry air, which basically the dust bottom line is dry air. When we go back to this chart, look up top. This is Irma. So Irma came off. Irma developed early in the main development region, and it's not been very common lately to see storms form that far out. We had Florence, we had Irma. Most of the storms lately have been developing a little closer to home, my home. But there's Irma. So Irma, if you look at the moisture in the atmosphere on that top map, a very light south, very light. Very moist atmosphere. On the bottom there, I have an example of what it looks like when it's thick. It's definitely aided Irma to maintain that intensity as it trekked across the Atlantic. Lighter dust, lighter south. So it's basically south layer sand, dirt, and dust. Comes from Africa. It's dry deserts. Tropical waves carries these dusts west. Interesting tidbit. I need to harp on that more. Hey, I saw Big Dog yesterday use the word surge. I was like, that's what we were talking about. Yep. So somebody just said her dad's turned 86. I know. Hey, man, he's going to go. He's going to go quick. That's the best way to go, really. He believes in that. Kendra says his dad. Pulling weeds, complaining about the heat. Hey, that's what keeps him young, man. 90s, Sean, up in New England. I know, man, you're getting it. You can really feel the heat later in the day, too. It seems like it builds up throughout the day. But that's also a sign that the tropical thunderstorms are back. And I need to talk about that before we go. But this weekend, anyway, tropical waves carry this dust westward. Atmosphere stays moist if it's light. Atmosphere stays dry if it's thick. Dust can make it all the way to Florida, the Gulf Coast, makes colorful sunsets and sunrises. And that's what we got brewing right now. Here's a great link. This is on myfoxhurricane.com. Paul Delgado, the man. Him and Dennis are my two favorite. Mike Clay, I like three of them. I like all three equally. My buddy John Sinney put me on the test a few years ago, and I got mad at him. I'm like, man, I don't want any of them guys hating me. Actually, Bobby Deskins. So I'm very fortunate. The only channel in Tampa that I don't know personally anybody is Channel 8. I've really got to be kind of not really friends with Mike Clay, but enough that we know each other and shake hands and recognize each other. We were on the cruise together, believe it or not. Of course, Bobby Deskins is Channel 13. Chat with him a bunch. It's not Channel 13 anymore. It used to be CBS. I think 11 now. Of course, Dennis 28. And my old buddy James Van Fleet used to work here. And then also the last Channel 8 contact I had was Brooks Gardner. He went to Texas, Colorado. Now he's back to Orlando. So he's a follower of the page too. So anyway, but this is our tracker. Now this is a pretty neat tracker because it goes frame by frame. And here we go. This is going into, let me stop it. Here is Saturday. So this shows you a little more thicker dust into the upper Gulf Saturday. Let's see, did I go to the end? Last frame, right? This is, see, I never understand these little bars. Does anybody else have a problem with these things? Oh, there we go. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so here's Thursday today. Here's tomorrow. Starts to reach South Florida tomorrow morning. So, you might have some cool sunsets down in sunrises down in the Keys tomorrow morning. This is Friday, 8 a.m. So the dust comes up. That also tells you the wind flow. That's what's pushing. So a lot of people ask me, does this actually slow down rains? No, it doesn't at all. This actually has more of an effect on mid-level circulation than anything. As a cinnamon, that was the word of the day yesterday, cinnamon. But as your storms start to brew out here in the, that was the bestest graphic ever. Let me start over. All right, so as our storms begin to brew out here in the Atlantic, the middle atmosphere starts to pull in some of this dry air, thus preventing the thunderstorms from really gaining convection on the higher levels. So it doesn't affect lower level rains. It helps dry up the middle atmosphere northward, upwards, preventing those tall thunderstorms from really developing and getting convection on all layers of the atmosphere. So it's more of a ingesting hurricane I don't even know the word I'm thinking about. Jade Smith says her mom's 90 and works as a zone crossing guard. That is amazing. That is great. 90. Hope I make it that long. That would be fun. Mike Soul, how's it going over there on YouTubers? All right. Dust. All right, so there you go. That's what's happening. We'll see what happens this weekend. The other thing we want to look at real quick, I guess we'll just look at the rains coming up. We got a 48-hour rain map we can look at right now. Probably just got done running. Let's look at the south Gulf Coast at least, and then we'll take a look at when the rains are coming. We're going to start to see these. It's only up 1 hour. What happened? Oh, no, it's up. Okay, so here's the cool thing. Yesterday we weren't quite there yet. So afternoon today, a couple thunderstorms brewing as normal. Afternoon thunderstorms, Florida Peninsula. There's our little rain going across. Actually, it could be quite strong there across the middle part of the U.S. But we're going to focus down south. Rains. This is through rains tonight. And here's that tropical moisture. Watch. Look at that. Surge of tropical moisture. So through today, tomorrow, this is midnight tonight. Look at that. Here it comes. So it could start raining in that Keys overnight, midnight. Here's that surge of moisture. Here's Friday morning. This is almost like it was yesterday. It could start reaching middle parts of Florida in the morning tomorrow, Friday morning. Could be a big surge of 10 o'clock. So tropical juice invading Florida Peninsula tomorrow. Right on schedule. So we got anything to do tomorrow. That's pretty much the whole peninsula. And then going into the weekend, we're going to have some leftover lingering. Now we got a front coming down, and we have this leftover tropical juice here that's going to end up pushing its way into the upper Gulf Coast. And let's take a look at the latest NAM. We might be able to see it on that. I think we might be able to see it on that. I think. Nope, not that NAM. That's temperature NAM. CONUS, there we go. And that should be the one. Simulator radar, okay. So we can go out 60 hours. And here's that surge coming up big time. Look at this tomorrow. Whoa! Poof! That's tomorrow. Bam! Just follow the flow. Look at that. All right, then on the weekend, here it comes back up another little... you didn't quite make it. You can start to see it in the last frame down here. See this secondary surge? So this is Saturday. We'll start to see this impact up here. So we can back up here. Let's go to tropicaltidbits.com. Let's take a look at southeast on tropicaltidbits.com. Look at the moisture map, and we're going to see a little bit higher down the road mapping here. So as we get into Saturday night, now look at the Gulf of Mexico. There's our secondary surge coming up. This is Saturday afternoon, Saturday night. Incoming frontal line. This originally was the original thinking was that this frontal line that's coming in. Here's that frontal line. Let me just stop here. Sunday night. This original thinking was that if we had anything down here brewing, that this frontal line was going to open the door and pull it northward, and that's what these models were showing. So in a sense, it kind of was right. The icon was showing a lot of this moisture getting pulled up as a weak low. But this is what we got. So, over the weekend, unfortunately, Saturday, we could see some of this moisture here across the upper Gulf Coast reaching inland. And then as we get into Sunday, we have the incoming frontal line here on Sunday morning. And it's been really consistent throughout the day on Sunday into Monday. So none of that's changed. Here's Tropical Surge Sunday coming up. So it's just here's the icon. This is so cool. There's Friday. There's our peninsula tropical juice. And then starts to build Saturday. This is Saturday. And then Sunday lingers around the Gulf and he gets pulled up into that approaching front. So it could be some heavy rains later part of Sunday into Monday, even in the peninsula here, as the front finally makes its way through. And you can see that on these surface level charts a lot of times too. I like to look at surface charts because it kind of gives you an idea what's going on. Here's Sunday. There's our frontal line Sunday, and of course by Monday, it's pushing southbound. Here's Sunday. Here's Monday. There's our frontal line. So that's why, there you go. The frontal line coming down. And Tuesday it starts to fizzle up. High pressure. The strong Atlantic high pressure it usually pushes these things, keeping Florida in its own little weather pattern. There you go. So, what else is up? Anything else we can say hi about? We're going to go live tomorrow. Got a lot of new Twitter followers, so here, let's just do all this real quick, just so you know. We have a lot of options. Of course, we're streaming live on Facebook. We love Facebook. It's what got us to 1 million plus followers. Got the other account we're doing for 2022, another source, in case you ever lose this one. We're also streaming live on YouTube. We're streaming live on Twitter. Been doing these little 1-minute updates on Instagram, and I upload those to TikTok and YouTube. And you can also go to our podcast and download the Daily Brew if you want to listen. There you go. How do you get that out of the way? All right, what are y'all chatting about? That was like one big, long, run-on sentence. See you, Eric. Have a good day. The Rays play today? I hope so. What the heck was them playing at 1 o'clock yesterday? That's the weirdest time ever. Nothing's coming from Africa, Alexis. Nope, too early in the season. Here's our other wave, though. We can track it, I guess. We do have our second chocolate bowl wave. I said chocolate. Where the hell is the big one at? Oh man, my eyes getting a little better, but it still hurts. Here's our second tropical wave. Right here, second one of the season. Tropical wave number 1. It's like thing 1, thing 2. Thing 1. Look at that. I never thought I'd use cursive in school. I just did. First time ever. Thing 1, thing 2. This intertropics convergence zone usually ends up pulling a little higher up in the season, and that is when the winds really start kickstarting tropical development. It's so cool to watch. We don't want to see them happen, but it is cool to watch them get brewing. So what happens over here? I love watching this later season. It's very weak right now. This is Africa. Here's Cape Verde Islands, but this line usually is pretty defined, and these winds. There's a good article on it. These winds are not working in the favor of tropical waves. Usually they'll come up, and that's what spins these little guys up. So you get these little low pressure systems that roll off of Africa, and these winds from the south, winds from the north, aid in the development of spinach. And that's how it starts. Middle season stuff. Fascinating. But you got to have a wave. You got to have no dust. There you go. A couple other things. Hey, Jeff from Port Richie, you know where that's at. Good to see you, man. And listen, let's talk about this GFS. So, I get it. I know a lot of people love the fact that the GFS failed. That's great. There's a lot of people that said, I told you so. That's what's awesome, that we can all be predictors and guess. But one thing I've always done, and especially with spaghetti models, thus the name spaghetti models, show all variables. And man, I look back at all my posts, and never once did I lead on any wordage that made it sound like I believed the GFS was going to do that. I've tried hard to make it clear it's an outlier. There's others, the ensembles, it's not very likely, but it's there. And I feel like that's what people like on our site. So I hope anybody that didn't go and board up their house and evacuate to Alaska, I apologize. But I get it. But that's the nature of the site, And I tell everybody, we're not professional. We're not official. So I don't think people are coming here for official advice. So that's as Forrest would say. That's all I got to say about that. Let's look at the ensembles. All right, so Tropical Tidbits, Levi added ensembles now for the European. So we have Weather Nerds with some cool ensemble maps. Now we have Tropical Tidbits with ensemble maps. Free sites. Free. Somebody wants a mega pint of coffee. If I had a bar, I'd call, I want a mega pint of beer. Yeah, Storms, see you, James Cusano. I always say Caruso. Cusano. Hunter, just in the morning. So you get to see Louie tomorrow. We're keeping one dog a day. I got to mix it up a little bit. I used to show both. So let's look at the ensembles. Ensembles are great. Let's take a look at them all. So let's see what the GFS is showing for our tropical wave. See if there's any more members pointing to the north. Here's our low. So our low basically is around this area right here now. Let's see what the GFS is sniffing. See, look at that. Just one or two. So you got to remember these ensembles. There's 31 different brains of the GFS. So basically it's saying next week, Tuesday, there's only one brain, the Lone Ranger, the outlaw of the bunch. Before we had a lot of ensembles. See, now we're down to one. So you look at trends. Trends are your friends. And obviously GFS is backed up on its thinking about the Gulf next week. A few more ensembles out in the Pacific. All right, so that supports the fact that we don't think anything's going to happen with that wave. I'm not even going to go long range 10 days out. There's a lot of people sharing it. I'll do it. Let's focus on the 7-day. And again, the GFS was showing this hurricane 7 days out. Even most forecasters back in the day said anything 10 days out. Well, this GFS was actually showing things within 7 days. So it was like, wow. But nobody else was. CMC ensembles. Let's take a look at that. GPS. Lower ensembles on the GPS. All right, so here's the Canadians. Look at that. Look at that. Almost nothing. Most of the members pop on the Pacific. Weaker goes west. Crossing to Central America. Remember, Central American gyre going on down there. A lot of rain expected. And majority of the CMC. There's that one Lone Ranger on Wednesday, but nothing to really chat about on that. Now, going long range, obviously, another week from now, we could start looking at that. But ensembles spread out too much long range. All right, and then, of course, we'll look at Euro. And the Euro might be the winner. Winner. Look at that. Not even showing anything. Euro for the win. The Euro kicked butt. Let's look at some rainfall totals expected for Central America. From our Central America gyre. I wonder if this will work. Let's go Central America. All right, Central America. Rainfall. Is there a rainfall total on this one? Total precipitation in millimeters. I could do millimeter. Look like them. So here is rainfall through the week. Let's just stop it And then we'll look at Florida. We'll look at daily rainfall next. All right, so there's our. So the Euro's thinking obviously that our low pressure is going to end up on the other side of the Pacific. Thus, the big rains hovering on the south side. But these are 7, 8, 9, 10 inches plus here across a big chunk of the Central America. So could be. So there you go. That's a big worry down south is several inches of rain the next few days. And now we are going to look at daily rains for this tropical surge, and then I guess we will call it a day. Let's see here. Man, so I had one of them nights last night. So we had a great night. We went out to our Oldsmar Tap House. We played trivia. We finished next to last. I don't know why we are so bad. Next to last. Let's look at the heat coming up. It was a typical night for us. Look at these heat. Look at this coming tomorrow. Oh my gosh! All right, look at this. We got to show you this. All right, so heat wave tomorrow. This Friday. Man, look at this. We got people up there in the Northeast. I know. Look at that. So there's our heat tomorrow. So tomorrow the heat stretches. This is real temperatures. This isn't heat index temperatures. This is real temperatures. We're talking hundreds in Carolina tomorrow. Real temperatures, 100 tomorrow. I wonder. Oh no, hour two. See, I don't know if I could just change the date to the 20th. Would it go to Friday? Nope. All right. Now, looks like even Friday could be even hotter. Here's Friday. A little less. But man, look at this. Look at these temperatures. This Saturday, actually. This Saturday temperatures. So Saturday, we're going to have 90s all the way up through Pennsylvania. This is Saturday. 90s in West Virginia, 90s in Delaware, 90s all the way through New York, New Hampshire, look at this, all the way through Vermont, New Hampshire. Look at this heat spell. 90s, upper 90s in Connecticut, 97. That's Saturday. It's going to be hot. That's the Saturday temperatures. Big time heat up that neck of the woods for sure. Daily rainfall real quick so I don't lose focus, and then I'll tell you about my story. So I had my typical... I got on the couch with Sarah. Sarah put her pillow on me, and it was great. The dogs jumped up there. And I hit the Netflix button, and I didn't even make it to the screen to hit play. I made it to the screen to go to my name, Mike, and that was all she wrote. I didn't make it past the start screen. So remember, tonight at 7:30, Dennis Phillips Live. I'll be on there chatting. We're going to talk about modeling and some whatever other shenanigans, as he calls it. He's going to be drinking Diet Dr. Pepper. I'll drink some Diet Mountain Dew. We're going to have a shoe contest, flip-flops versus dad shoes. Diet Mountain Dew versus Diet Dr. Pepper. Here's rainfall through tomorrow. This is Friday, basically. There's where your big chunk of rains are tomorrow. So again, central U.S., central Florida tomorrow. This is all your rainfall tomorrow, Friday. Tropical juice comes up from the Caribbean, impacts the state. Heavy rain, pretty much the whole peninsula. Not everybody will get it, but a big chunk in the middle part of the state. A lot of this because of daytime heating will be aiding in the tropical juice. So there's pretty good rains. We got several inches of rain across a big part of Florida. As a matter of fact, I wonder if we have any sort of WPC. Yeah, we do have a little one. There's a little bit of moderate or marginal risk of flooding tomorrow on the WPC map. Day 3, maybe up north. We'll see. Still day 3. Oh, Saturday. That sucks. We got softball. All right. 24-hour rains. All right, so here is all the maps. All right, there's your Friday rains. Then we go to Saturday. Ooh, look at that. That goes into, wow. So there's your Saturday rains, basically. Moves northward. And then into Sunday rains, moves up to the upper Gulf. So this is all tropical juice from Alf. Remember Alf? And here's your rain Sunday into Monday. So basically it's this. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's a rain snowman with a corncob nose and a button nose, and there's his buttons. We can draw little hands. Hey, draw little feet. Let's put little feet down here by Key West. I used to be an artist. All right. What else is up? Diet. Dale, there's some good diet drinks, man. These Bangs and these Celsiuses, and there's a Diet Dr. Pepper cream, I think, that's pretty darn good. But I always end up back to Diet Dew. I love it. All right, what else we chit chat about? It's been an hour. Appreciate it. I haven't seen my buddy Greg Montgomery over there. How's the Coastal family doing? Jason, have you been on here lately? Remember, we got so many awesome supporters of our page. We're going to do a special tomorrow. I got to come in. So tomorrow we're going to talk about Apalachicola area, and there's a cool little series I'm going to talk about, show you guys tomorrow. That's pretty funny, actually. It's pretty neat. But I want to do a shout out to Coastal Claims. Jason and Frank, they're big supporters of our page. They're located in Florida, but they work the whole country. They were big supporters of our cruise and our inaugural cruise. Our neighbor across the street used them for some insurance help they needed, and they ended up getting a lot more, cash. So if you need any insurance help, somebody working for you with insurance companies, definitely give Frank and Jason a call from Coastal. They're obviously their big businesses are natural disasters and storms. That's where we met at. Unfortunately, hurricanes, but anything else, man, they'll do a good job. My neighbor across the street, Pete and Kathy, unbelievable experience with them. So and we met them. They're awesome people. We only support companies that support us and are cool like us. So they're cool like us. They'll take care of you. So, all right. So we'll be live tomorrow. No shenanigans going on. I'm going to be excited tonight about talking with Dennis, and look forward to that at 7:30 p.m. So do that. Thank you, David Berryhill. How's Carolina's doing? At least I'm about ready to put my glasses on. Hey, there's Jason. Oh, no. I haven't seen him today. I don't know. My eyes is bad. I appreciate all the support. Can't tell how it's not really red anymore. I got off my live and Shelly says, "You need to go to the doctor." This gives me an excuse to go back to my glasses for a little bit longer. So, all right. Well, we'll be live tomorrow. Hope you have a great Thursday. We do have a little weather to talk about. Remember, we got some storms brewing. We got Carolinas. One last look at the radar today. You can see these storms coming in kind of from the let's go to the mid-Atlantic here real quick. This is today. We got some storm chances possibly. You can see these incoming storms throughout the day today rolling into the Carolinas possibly. I'm just rewinding throughout the day today into tonight. So, we could have overnight storms here through Carolina. This is Raleigh-Durham. This is overnight. This is midnight, 1 o'clock tonight. So watch for that. This storm line is moving pretty fast, but it could come through the Carolinas tonight and get close to the Outer Banks by early daylight hours tomorrow. I know we got a lot of people watching in the Carolinas. That's what it looks like. And, of course, we have a Storm Prediction Center outlook for that area today. There you go. We're under a slight risk. So that means, outside chance tornado, definitely wind and hail. So we could have some thunderstorms through the night through the Carolinas. That's all I got to say about that. All right, DPL tonight. Everybody be good. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Cheers. Bye. Harold. 9:19 every day.